All right, guys, it's time for the updated tier list in Anime Warriors 3. So we got a few new units, and I'm gonna be honest, things are getting a little bit interesting in the game. So let's start it off with maybe a unit that you guys weren't thinking about that's actually somehow decent. So let's take a look, guys, at the first unit for this tier list, and that is Polnareff. Look at that, guys. 150 damage. Shiny is 240. Oh my gosh. If we compare that to the Naruto Mythic, not that far off. In fact, it's basically the same as the Luffy Mythic Shiny, all from a single legendary. Now, again, this can't get ascensions, which we'll talk a little bit more about in this video, but that is actually pretty freaking insane. So let's hop back on the tier list and let's update it, guys. So in this video, we're going to be doing the updated tier list. So let's edit it and we're going to add this. And if you guys want to make your own tier list, all right, there's the link if you guys want to make it. All right, and let's add in the 2 new ones. All right, so let's add these legendaries on the list because somehow these legendaries are actually freaking good now. So this one is basically just as good as Luffy and really easy to get. And then we have the shiny one, which is basically just as good as Luffy and almost as easy to get. So I'm gonna put him right about there. So this shiny legendary beats almost every mythic. That's insane. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't know is how much do ascensions affect your power of the unit. Now, the thing is, ascensions don't increase this power number, all right, over there. Like, that is the one problem with ascensions. They don't really increase that much. All right, sometimes they do, like this right here might, but not all of them do. All right, however, whenever you're actually doing damage, you guys can see some of these effects are pretty high. So they're not going to double your damage, but they might increase it slightly. Now, the problem with that is the legendaries don't have ascensions. However, mythics do. So let's take a quick look at our boy Jodaro's ascensions, and we'll put him on our tier list as well. So you guys can see I have no relics on him. Now, the nice thing about ascensions is you can get a second relic, and that's going to increase your DPS by quite a bit. Or it's going to allow you to have extra luck or drop. So here we go, guys. 10% chance to deal 50% damage. Now, if you actually multiply this out, that's a bonus 5% damage. Yeah, that's how worthless this is. And that's only on M1s. So this ascension sucks. Honestly, not even worth it. Ultimate causes the enemy to take 10% more damage for 20 seconds. Now, this is honestly pretty good, but I don't know. It says doesn't stack. So maybe you only want to bring one Jotaro. Perfect precision. 15% crit chance and 40% crit damage. Honestly, this is good. This is probably the best of his ascensions I've seen so far. And relic equip, obviously this is also one of the better ascensions. Number 5, ultimates have a 5% chance of refreshing. Automatically refreshing, instantly casting again at no alt bar cost. Again, it's a 5% chance, so not really that worth it. Now, how powerful is Jodaro? All right, 260 base is crazy. So 260 base puts him the same level as Luffy, a little bit higher than Luffy Shiny. Wow. Just wow. So that's gonna put him right about there. Okay. And that's pretty insane. I'm actually gonna leave him there because this guy, shiny mythics are pretty easy to get, but Jodaro is a cheat code, and you guys can kind of see what kind of power you can get him up to. All right, if you once you actually have some good relics on him, you can get him to quite the power. So let's say, for example, I put the Shadow Dragon Horn on him. All right, that would jack up his power to 7.25 million, and that's a max Shadow Dragon Horn. And say, for example, I wanted to do a say I want to do another max Dragon Horn. That would put me at 8.38 million on a mythic. All right, that's not bad at all. Like, not bad at all. You can get some pretty crazy DPS, so make sure you ascend your units. Now, that's a shiny one though, so keep that in mind when I'm showing you this. The shiny ones are crazy. So if we take a look at shiny Jotaro, 416 damage. Absolutely crazy. That is putting him in the A tier next to some secret units. All right, I'm gonna put him higher than here because you can get the ascension. All right, this guy is dang near as good as freaking Vegito and whatnot. And I'm gonna be honest, you can get him a lot easier, so he is way better than these. Honestly, he's technically probably should be in the S tier because of how easy his ascensions are to get. All right, like Now, usually the secrets have better ascension, so I'm going to leave him here. But good luck trying to get an A6 one of these, but you can get an A6 Jotaro in like a couple hours. So Jodaro is a cheat code, especially compared to some of the lower mythics. Lower secrets. Keep that in mind. All right, how good is Cars? Cars is absolutely busted. He has like 800 plus base. It's actually kind of wild. All right, I'm gonna be honest. Legit, he might be beating some of these shiny secrets. I'm gonna put him for now, and we'll put the shiny up here for now. But let's just say this guy is insanely busted. I'm gonna show you his ascensions right now too. All right, also he has dual typing as well, magic and physical. All right, upon death, he gets all of his HP back, immune to effects, and a 30 defense and 30% attack speed boost. Not too bad. All right, his ultimates honestly are a little bit not the greatest, but they're definitely way better than Jotaro's. All right, because you can see like it's not 5% for 50 or whatever. It's like 12 times 20, stuff like that, which is pretty good. And then you can also reflect status effects back, which is pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. And you get a free ultimate cast. Yeah, this Cars guy is insane. All right, now remember, you can only have one secret on your team. However, you can have as many, like one secret of each type or exclusive each type, but you can have as many mythic Jotaros as you want. So if I was a free-to-play player, like I am now, and I didn't have all of these exclusives yet, Jodaro shiny would probably be one of my go-tos, because the summer shinies are honestly pretty hard to get besides now. All right, I do recommend trying to get a shiny Demon Cyborg, but the thing is, I can't really recommend that because the odds of getting a shiny Demon Cyborg are less than a Boros. Let me say that again. It's easier to get a Boros than a shiny Genos. I believe the math says 5 Boroses for every 1 shiny Genos. I have 6 Boros and never got a shiny Genos. So that's why I can't really recommend grinding him, because he's basically impossible to get. So if I were a new player trying to get DPS, I would focus on shiny Jotaros, using either shiny pots and mythic pots, or waiting for an admin abuse and really taking advantage of it. I'm gonna be honest, like I got a frick ton of shiny Jotaros, like just from like 30 minutes of admin boost. I had to turn it off. You guys can see how many shiny Jotaros I have, like insanely easy to get. So I'm gonna be honest, this guy is the cheat code in the game. And look at this, 8 million power, and you can play 6. Yeah, you can get to really high power with just Jodaro alone. All right, you can, and then you have to factor in the weapon bonus. Like you could probably get up to like 40 million power with just probably way higher than that, maybe 50 million power with just a team of Jotaros in an afternoon. So if you guys want to see me do that on a new to pro, let me know. But for now, I'm going to continue my new to pro. But there you go, guys. There's the new tier list. TLDR, get Jotaro as fast as you can. And I would definitely say get Cars as well. He's as good as a lot of shiny mythics. So if I were opening, obviously open for Cars. He's just crazy. So my opening order would probably still be Yoichi because of how easy she is to get. I'd get one of her first, and then I'd get Cars. All right, that's kind of what I would do. And of course, guys, if you're grinding, I would recommend going for the exclusives as well because they're still pretty easy to get. Anyways, catch you guys in the next one, and peace.